There's renewed uproar tonight over that hunter who killed Cecil the lion. American dentist Walter Palmer remains the target of a rising tide of global anger and now new scrutiny. Tonight, investigators in Zimbabwe insist Palmer did not have a legal hunting permit. ABC News has also obtained photos showing an illegal kill that Palmer made right here at home. Here's ABC's Ryan Smith.
Riding across the Zimbabwe savannah this week, it looks much as it ever did. But the reverberations from the killing of the beloved lion, Cecil, by American dentist Walter Palmer can be felt around the globe. Here in America, photos first obtained by ABC News of Palmer back when he got in hot water for killing another animal. In 2006, he was hunting black bear in northern Wisconsin. He had a permit to kill a bear in one county. Trouble is, Palmer actually shot the bear in another county, 40 miles away.
They agreed they would lie about it.
U.S. Attorney John Beaudry got involved when Palmer took that illegal kill across state lines back to Minnesota.
He was offering to pay, it turns out, about $20,000 to keep the others who were in the hunt, to have them lie. So that's a fairly aggressive cover-up.
But his friends didn't take the bait. Palmer eventually pled guilty to a felony charge, paid nearly $3,000 in fines, and was sentenced to a year probation. 9 years later, Palmer is encountering a beast of a different kind. It began in early July. Palmer flew across the world, eager to bag another big kill. So we traveled here, to the place Cecil called home. Zimbabwe. We arrive at Hwange National Park, a vast preserve the size of Connecticut, where Cecil lived. Palmer ventured into this country, called by the thrill of the big kill. Palmer allegedly pays $55,000 to bag a lion. Money that was supposed to cover a hunting permit, payment to the property owner where the hunt was to take place, and for guide Theo Bronkhorst. Palmer has also repeatedly insisted he thought his expedition was totally legal and properly handled. Using a method called baiting, Palmer and his guides dragged an elephant carcass behind their truck to lure Cecil from Hwange to a private farm. These tracks are the difference between life and death for this animal. On this side, you have a wildlife preserve where he can roam free. But take 1-2 steps on this side, you're on private property. It was there, on that farm, Palmer shot Cecil and came back the next morning to finish him off. Brent Staplekamp, a lion researcher with Oxford University, fitted Cecil with a tracking collar in 2008 and has studied his movements ever since.
You've brought this animal to you, delivered to you like a pizza.
Bronkhorst's lawyer insists nobody knew the slain lion was Cecil.
Mr. Palmer didn't know he was shooting this famous lion.
Palmer has also written, "I had no idea the lion I took was a known local favorite, was collared, and part of a study." But authorities have a different version of events. For starters, they say nobody got permits.
There was no permit, so this is tantamount to, poaching.
And now, Staplekamp shares with us what he believes is key to the case. That GPS data from Cecil's collar, data which he says points to a cover-up.
We get the impression someone is trying to fool us.
The tracker marks Cecil's position with a dot every 2 hours. In the days before he was killed, the dots are tightly grouped. Afterward, they're spread out.
They're moving it around so it looks like the lion is alive. And now perhaps there's second thoughts. They move it one last time and destroy it in the hope that we can't track it.
But we know someone is trying to, in a sense, fool with the crime scene.
Absolutely. You certainly won't get this movement to there and back and there and then there. That's man. That's not an animal doing that.
In a published report, Bronkhorst says that when he and Palmer found Cecil's tracking collar, they were shocked. Panicking, they removed the collar, leaving it in a tree, and later contacted authorities. Do you believe that?
No, absolutely not. I work hand in hand with the authorities. No such contact was made. Nothing.
Back in Minnesota, Dr. Palmer returns to his home, and the world is outraged over Cecil's death.
This is a compound bow.
Professional hunter Rebecca Francis knows Palmer's predicament all too well. and told her story to my colleague Deborah Roberts.
Here's a good one. You better pray that I don't ever run into you, because I will kill you and cut your head off and mount your effing head on the wall. I hope you die soon.
This spring, Frances suddenly had a target on her back after this memorable photo from her webpage was ripped by comedian Ricky Gervais, who tweeted out, "What must have happened to you in your life to make you want to kill a beautiful animal, then lie next to it smiling?" In an instant, her life forever altered, even though her hunt was completely legal.
People saw it as just vile that you could lie next to this slain, undignified animal now that it's dead.
It wasn't disrespect, it was to remember this experience.
Oh my gosh, look at him! When it comes to hunting and the shots and the celebration, do you think people just don't get it? They don't get what your world is all about?
I think that people are raised in different cultures, and people that were raised in an area like this, it's part of their life.
What the heck are we looking at here?
So we've got buffalo burgers, we've got buffalo roast, we've got buffalo steaks, we've got cougar meat right here.
You can eat cougar.
Absolutely, and it's good.
Frances says some hunters are all about feeding their families, but pretty much all of them have a boundless love of the outdoors and support conservation.
The money that we put into hunting these animals goes directly back into conservation.
But she says if indeed Palmer poached, he should pay.
Justice for Cecil!
But with all the vitriol toward Palmer around the world, for Goodwell in Zo'o, a Zimbabwean native, the outrage feels misplaced. He'd appreciate it if Westerners paid half as much attention to Zimbabwe's people as they do to Zimbabwe's lions.
We have these issues that do exist already that we're not even talking about. Hunger, people dying of AIDS. But all of a sudden, one lion dies, then the whole world blows up.
There are those who believe Cecil's death could bring about greater change. Earlier this month, Cecil's face was projected onto New York's Empire State Building. And for a moment, even in this concrete jungle, he was still king.
It's brought a lot of attention to our work and to Zimbabwe, and I think that's his legacy. It's a positive legacy.
For Nightline, I'm Ryan Smith in New York.